Hawkers and coffee shop operators are still uncertain about how to implement the latest vaccination-differentiated measures a day before they kick in. Authorities say they're taking a practical approach, like using spot checks and reminders.
With their crowds of diners eating and chatting in close proximity, the Health Ministry says Singapore's hawker centres and coffee shops remain high-risk areas as the country battles a rapid rise in COVID-19 cases. From Wednesday, patrons who are not fully vaccinated will only be allowed to enter these places to take away food items. They won't be allowed to dine in. But the wide-open eating spaces at hawker centres could pose a problem when it comes to enforcement. The Bukit Merah Shop Owners and Hawker Association hopes that authorities will deploy more manpower to conduct their spot checks. But they are waiting news on how or even if they still need to work with authorities. Some are afraid the checks will affect their business, especially during peak hours.
他们只是说在难的时候啊，也是很难去问，有的时候那个上了年纪啦，他也是没有带handphone下来啦，或者有什么啦，对吧？我们很难有这个时间来去问他什么，除非说在门口的时候，一进门的时候，我们看有说 NA 有派另外一批人来稍微来稽查一下，查一下说有没有打过针。
Over at the Tiong Bahru market, its Hawkers Association chairperson says it'll be tough to check on every dine-in customer.
如果他没有打针的话，他也可以叫那些有接种疫苗的人来买啊。所以这点有一点困难啊。
Hawkers that CNA spoke to say they'll ask their customers verbally if they have been vaccinated just to be safe. But the National Environment Agency assures hawkers and coffee shop operators that they don't have to check the vaccination status of their customers. Instead, it'll deploy safe distancing officers to conduct spot checks. Still, everyone will have to do their part. That's the message in a Facebook video by Ministers Lawrence Wong and Ong Ye Kung.
We'll really rely on the coffee shop operators to see how best they can implement this new measure. On the government's part, we will do spot checks. All of us must do our part. We must exercise responsibility.
And coffee shop operators are rising to the call. They do not have designated check-in points, but some are now thinking of turning their drink stalls into a checkpoint for people to show their vaccinated status. Manpower, however, will be an issue.
The problem is that you need to have manpower to do the checking. That means you have to employ more staff, then you involve costs. This is a worry by the coffee shop operator.
All that remains is the part the public also has to play. Sustainability and the Environment Minister, Grace Fu, echoes Minister Wong's call for people to behave responsibly.
So at our hawker centres and coffee shops, we require operators to remind the patrons as they walk in that if they are not vaccinated, that they shouldn't dine in. We will have posters and we will also use our public announcement systems where applicable to constantly remind diners.
Minister Fu says seating arrangements at crowded areas will also be reviewed to ensure that everyone stays safe.